We're starting off high.
We can get
I think
two fools agree on that one. Oh, by the way, look, we got the wide shot.
You had accountability. Now, what I can...
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
No, not even.
Where, give me the money. Show me the money.
Apparently there's a Fool page.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live on Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
trust a human to raise back wolves.
Before I would trust a pack of humans to raise wolves.
Right. I hear you. Yo, what up, fools? Welcome to the Do Fools Agree podcast. I'm your host, Michael Reggie. As always, here with my main man, Clifford Jordan Jennings.
What up, you fool motherfuckers?
What's going on? Yeah. Mr. Jennings, how was your week?
I don't know, you know?
You don't know?
I don't know at this point. They all bleed together.
Well, and this one's been especially just crazy.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but they all bleed together.
Right.
I was still in October on my dates.
Oh, goodness.
A couple days. That's how you know I'm just...
Missed Halloween.
I feel like I am in a living coma.
A living coma?
Yeah. Like I'm just going
through the motions.
I'm not even present. I'm just...
I don't know if that's great, man. We got to find you something to do.
I mean, that's what it feels like. Just working from home, doing the same shit.
I mean, real talk, I'm with you.
Being available. It's just like, it's just a repeat of the same thing every day. And it's not like I feel...
It's not like you're depressed about it, but...
Just like, I feel like, did you really, get through all that? This week, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well,
autopilot, I guess you could say.
Autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, looks like we got issues with your volume, but that was on my end. Thank you for the heads up in the chat. That was my fault. I had the volume down. I think we should be good now.
Okay.
With all that, I mean, I'm with you. Like, this week was a little weird because we weren't in kind of standard mode with A-Reg. But
because he's going back and forth.
Well, it's not even that. It's that they had 2 days off this week. So, like, usually he's in school 2 days, home 3 days. This week he was home 4 days, only at school for 1. And so it fucked up my schedule.
Right.
Because for at least 3 of those days, my wife was teaching, was still in school or doing training or whatever. And so I felt like I didn't get anything accomplished in the first half of the week. And then by 2:30, 3 o'clock today, I was like, you know what? I don't really have anything that's that urgent,
right.
So I'm peacing out. Like,
right.
I went down. I played a little. I jumped on I guess I paid for probably last year, like whatever the EA thing is on Xbox, the EA Club or whatever. And so, like 2 weeks ago, I ended up downloading Madden 20. Not the latest one, but the previous year's is free.
Oh,
if
really?
you're on the EA Club or whatever. And so I downloaded the old one. I've actually heard that it's better than this year's anyways. So I've been playing a little franchise mode on that with the Bills.
Okay.
Maybe trying to get and the fucked up thing is I made it through the first season and I still couldn't get the Bills to win the playoff game.
For real? Even when you control the motherfucker. They're like, Coach, like, it's not as easy.
It's not as easy as you think it is it, motherfucker? Speaking of the Bills,
Man.
We knocked off the Jets. We knocked off the Pats. The Pats, we tried to give the game away.
Y'all barely got that. That was
Did you see the end of that game?
Where
we had to strip the ball like as they're going for the go-ahead touchdown?
Yeah.
That was some shit, man. I thought and I didn't realize the Bills haven't won at home against the Pats since 9/11.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they haven't fucking won at home versus the Patriots since like 2001 until this past weekend. So,
listen, I didn't know that.
But the Bills climbing up, man. They're gonna make playoffs. They'll be all right. They'll be 10-win team.
We'll see what they do.
I mean, they tried to choke away the last 2 games, and fate is just on their side. Circle the wagons, baby. Circle the wagons.
Going on. Y'all be the post-COVID Cam, so.
True, he's still getting healthy.
Listen, I don't think that motherfucker can breathe too tough.
Right.
The way he been playing as opposed to how he came out the gate.
Right.
He still got them COVID lungs. He ain't got his upper respiratory together.
The track isn't quite there yet. He's like,
yeah, he need to cough up some of that mucus. Spit that out, Cam.
Right. Well, I was telling you before the show, our boy got the vid.
Oh,
that was sad.
Shouts
Luckily, I think his fam is asymptomatic right now, so that's good.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
They must have that good blood. He must have that weak blood.
You know, everybody don't got it.
Right. Oh, man. So you got any inadvertent thoughts to get us going this week?
Not really.
Nah.
If I'm being honest, not really. I had a couple things I was thinking about, but nothing that really stuck worth saying.
I hear you. So we've been not really an inadvertent, well, kind of an inadvertent thought, more just an observation. We watched the Society on Netflix. It's basically kind of a Lord of the Flies thing, where it's like this group of kids is supposed to be taking a field trip somewhere. When they get back to town, the town's empty, and they find out that the town's cut off from the rest of civilization. And so they've got to kind of like basically fend for themselves.
It's a TV
right?
show?
It's a show on Netflix.
Okay, it's not like a movie or anything?
Nah. I mean, it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of based on like Lord of the Flies. I'm sure there have been other movies that have done it.
Is it in English?
Yeah, it's English. It's American. It's an American show. It was a good series. And then I come to find out, we get to episode 10, they introduce all these cliffhangers. They don't resolve fucking any of them. And then what do I read that later that night trying to see about season 2?
It's over.
They canceled season 2 because of COVID.
Man. That's crazy.
So while the show is good, I do not recommend the Society to anybody because the shit'll leave you disappointed.
That's fucked up. That's the worst too.
Isn't it though, when you think a show's good? Like, that show we talked about probably 2 months ago now. The one with Hilary Swank, Away, where she's on the mission to Mars or whatever. That got canceled too.
Did it?
And I'm like, son of a bitch. I can't watch these shows that only have 1 season now. Man. Now I'm gonna have to hold out for shows that I can't watch them till they have like 4 or 5 seasons because I can't deal with the disappointment of not being able to watch the next season.
That is the worst. I mean, I usually do wait it out before I pick something.
Right. Well, it's the same thing like Glow. Like, how the fuck Glow isn't getting their final season is bullshit.
But that was, how many did they do? 6?
No, Glow was only 3.
Was it?
Yeah, Glow was only 3 and they were supposed to be getting 4. Nah, because the first 2 are kind of similar. The third one's where they go to Vegas. And at the end of Vegas, it's a cliffhanger because they're supposed to, like, they're all kind of going their separate ways. And they set, so it's, in that sense, it's not, that one doesn't have a ton of unresolved shit. But yeah, they got canceled before season 4.
Really?
Now, Orange is the New Black got to see like 7 or 8 seasons.
Huh.
But, so we picked up another 1-season show after that.
What show was that?
Yeah, fuck. I don't know if I remember the name of it, but it's basically kind of an indecent proposal type thing with Renee Zellweger's playing like this venture capitalist, and she basically loans out money to this couple if she's allowed to sleep with the husband. And then, like, you don't actually know whether she slept with him or not, but when he comes back the next morning, like, he's all bruised up, he's got busted knuckles, like, all this shit, and that's how the first episode ends. So that one's got me hooked for right now.
But... Oh, so you've only seen the first episode.
Oh, yeah, no, that's episode 1. So I'm curious to see how it goes from there.
So you don't know if that is her deal.
Right. Right. So I don't know. That's another one we're watching.
She's probably doing him a favor, though. Cause...
Well, my theory is because they dropped hints all in the first episode about he's got a little bit of a rage issue.
Okay.
She had him kill someone is kind of what my thought is.
And okay, you taking it a whole nother place.
Right.
I was thinking that was all a part of the agreement.
Yeah. Well, I think it was.
I thought she was doing him a favor and was like, okay, now I'm going to have to beat you up a bit because otherwise your wife is going to give you that 21 questions about us trying to figure out if we fuck. So shock value, you're going to be fucked up and she's going to be concerned about you more than if you got the box. Right.
Well, it's that, and then I think it's they're not allowed to talk about it. The couple isn't allowed to talk about it. That's part of the agreement, that if they talk about it, she gets the money back. Yeah.
Even together?
The husband and wife are not allowed to.
How does she know if they talk about it?
I'm just saying. I don't know.
How much money are we talking?
$85 million.
You gotta have a bottom. You gotta have a bottom bitch, boy. You gotta have a bottom bitch. I don't know too many women that can keep their mouth shut about that.
Oh well, but it's not her. Like it's the husband that slept with the venture capitalist.
Right, but she wants to know. You know what I'm saying?
But she knows nothing. The husband's the only one that knows.
I thought the wife has to agree in order.
She had to agree to basically giving her husband to this venture capitalist.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. You don't think that a regular woman doesn't want to know the details of what happened? So she has to hold that in and not be able to say it.
But the wife knows. Like, the wife knows that she signed the contract to send him to her.
But she doesn't know if they fucked or not.
Right.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. And that's what women want to know. That's what they want to know.
But that's the whole thing, is she doesn't, so she's pressing the husband about it, and the husband's like...
I thought we didn't talk about it.
Well, no, he basically says, like, we're not allowed to talk about it.
Oh, so she can talk about it, he just can't tell.
That's the whole thing. Like, they're not allowed to discuss what happened the night of him and the venture capitalist. So if the venture capitalist finds out that they've discussed what happened between the husband and her, then she loses the money and loses her company. So the wife is sitting over here, like, she signed the paperwork, she regretted it, she tried to go find them when she went to the house, they weren't there anymore. So this multimillionaire and her husband went and did something overnight.
Right.
And then when he came home in the morning, he was all fucked up.
Right.
And she's like, what happened? I tried to go and, like, cancel it. Right. And he basically, what he said to her was, we're not allowed to talk about it. And even if we do, it wouldn't make it any different. And you'd lose your company. And he shuts the door. And basically, like, goes into the bathroom to take a shower or some shit.
But see, that's the thing. I mean, but that's not.
But she's the one that signed. Like, they both agreed to sign the contract.
Mike, you're dealing with a woman.
I understand.
That's why I didn't. You kept repeating the story like I didn't hear it right the first time, and I'm just thinking like, what I got it.
I understand.
It's a woman.
I understand what you're saying. Like, she wants to know, but she doesn't know. That's my whole thing. Like, yeah, she's gonna keep asking. She's gonna keep asking.
That she's gonna keep asking until the end of season 7.
Well, yeah, or we'll find, or she'll. I mean, then she'll lose her company, and she will have already probably lost her husband.
That was gonna be my next question: is do they have to stay together?
No.
Because I mean, like, keep it G. I'd be like, listen.
But he doesn't get anything if he leaves her. She's the one that gets the money.
Oh, bitch, you're not about to sell me? No, we're not. That's not the way this works. Not at all the way this works.
I'm just saying. So that's the other show. We started that last night.
Not at all the way this works. Married or not, I'm not about to be the offering, in a situation with nothing in return.
But that's the whole thing from a. They were both about to. They were both in. They were in a bad spot financially as a couple, and they saw this as the only way out because people that manipulate power like that, they find the weak, right? So, I don't know.
I get it, but unless you don't sign half of that company over to me immediately.
I hear you.
That's an ill ass situation.
That's a bad deal. It's a bad deal all around. Oh man.
Yeah, that's an ill ass situation anyway. Fuck all that.
So outside of that, it's been, I've been watching. Mandalorian finally came back, so I've been watching that. That's only 2 episodes in, and I've only seen the first one, so I'll have to watch the second one tomorrow. And then I've been catching up with Star Trek Discovery, which is a CBS All Access thing, so nobody watches it.
I don't know anything.
But I'm a Star Trek nerd.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one with the black girl with the braids.
Hussein from Orange is the New Black.
Who's braiding her hair in space?
That's a good question.
Huh? That's what I want to fucking know. Who's braiding
She's a
her
Vulcan.
hair in space?
Well, she's half. She's not Vulcan, but she was raised by Vulcans.
She ain't braiding her own shit. She had Spock download some old fucking
funny story in that show. She's Spock's adopted sister.
For real?
Yeah.
See, I know some things. Spock was braiding her hair.
Live long and prosper, my friend. Live long and prosper.
Learn some shit. And he didn't know nothing about it. Fucking tender-headed. He was pulling hair like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong with why are you squirming?
Why is that a problem? I don't know. Oh man.
Nah, I've been on
What you been on?
I've been on Fear the Walking Dead.
Have you?
I hate Walking Dead. I can't. I hate The Walking. There is no way I can watch The Walking Dead.
What I would say is the first.
I do like Fear the Walking Dead.
Do you like Fear? So I watched the first season and a half, 2 seasons, and I've tried to go back to it a couple of times. And
it gets great.
Does it?
Yeah, it gets great.
Now is Morgan still on the show? The black dude. Now you know where he started, right? Was the original Walking Dead.
And I loved him on that when he had that whole town booby trap.
Yep. After the first, he and Rick were buddies in season 1, and then they found him again in season 4, and he kind of lost his mind. But then he teamed up with kind of the crew or whatever. So.
Right. But he always leaves.
He does. So Fear got good, huh? What
it is.
So here was my issue with it. One, I never came back to it whenever this season switched or whatever.
Right.
But I think I've watched season. I think we made it to season 3, and then I just fell off. I think I made it to the season where Morgan comes in, and I think Morgan comes in halfway through a season.
Yeah.
And I think I made it to the first episode of that season. And I just fell off. So it gets good, huh?
Yeah, no, it's a good. I like it.
I liked.
And then they got your boy from Raising Hope in it. The dad.
Okay. I love him. My favorite character of his was he was a Terminator in the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
For real?
Yeah, he was. I think he actually was a Terminator, and then he got shut down, and then they made him into the whatever's computer ended up becoming Skynet. So he was the precursor to Skynet in that show.
Right.
Which, by the way, is the best Terminator iteration ever. The Sarah Connor Chronicles. Yes, exactly.
Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yes. So that one, that one's pretty phenomenal.
Okay, what's that on?
I don't know if it's on anything. It might be on Hulu. It might be on Hulu because Fox, all the Fox stuff
back in the day, I guess. The first and second one I like.
And those are the only 2 that are good. The third one, meh. The third one was actually garbage. The fourth one, Terminator Salvation, was okay. The latest 2 were trash. And I wanted to like the last one because it goes back to our whole requel thing.
Right.
Where it's like a rebooted sequel.
Right.
And
that
it
last
almost
one was with the one dude from what the fuck is that movie? Damn it! What is the movie? He has like a brother or something. The brown-haired dude.
I know what you're talking about. I think that was the second to last one, so that wasn't the
Okay.
most recent one.
Okay.
The most recent one, they brought back Linda Hamilton. They brought back Sarah Connor from Terminator 2.
I thought she died.
No, she's alive. Both the actress and the character are both alive.
She didn't die in the movie?
No, she didn't die in T2.
Okay.
There were, I think she almost did, but...
Or maybe I'm thinking of that scene where the bomb went off and she was standing on the fence.
Right. Right, yeah. No, you're right. It wasn't, the bomb, or the building blew up. It was probably multiple bombs or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Malcolm out in the chat. What up, Malk? What up, Mom? Hi. Thanks for the heads up on the audio.
Listen, always. She's
on point.
From afar, producing from afar.
Well, I'm trying to remember. Like, I think. Oh, I had your mic turned off because you weren't here. That's why. And I didn't turn it back on because you weren't here last week.
Oh yeah.
We did remote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the case. So what's going on?
By the way, our both of our last two episodes have done pretty well.
Have they?
Yeah, they're both both over 50 views.
Oh, okay.
So that's what Keem's album released last week, and then obviously the Chance and the Shell.
I love that.
Which is probably my favorite episode.
Yeah, that might be
so
to
far.
mine to date.
It was pretty good.
That might be my favorite to date.
It was just such a real conversation. You know what I mean? Like hearing about what it was like, kind of being in that situation in the 70s and 80s. Like, what they say it was like 10 years after like interracial marriages were legalized. Yeah, 67, and I think they got married in.
What did he say?
I think they got together in like 80 something. 80, I don't remember.
I think he said 80,
well, let's do the math. 34.
86.
It was 34 years. Yeah, so it would be 86. Look at you with the quick math.
I was just going off of memory of what they said. I wasn't really counting, even though I am 34, so I would have to be born in.
Right. I didn't even get to that point either.
I didn't connect that logic.
We're both 34, and neither one of us connected that logic right away.
I was going off of what they said, and I was like, I thought it was 86, man.
So yeah, that was. I mean, they got together. That's when they got married. So they were together in 82, 83. So yeah, about 12, 15 years, somewhere around there.
Listen.
It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. So because we're going to talk about it anyways, because everybody else is talking about it.
I figured as much. We get it out the way.
So we had
any fucking way.
We had something on Tuesday. Tuesday, you know, there was a little something that happened. I mean, I'll say that like, I didn't particularly pay attention on Tuesday. Like, so obviously we're talking about the election.
All right.
Char got home. After we put Andrew to bed, she immediately went to her phone. I'm like, look, nothing is going to be decided tonight.
All right.
Nothing. Because all of the states that are still outstanding weren't allowed to count ballots that had been mailed until like after the election day was over.
Right.
And so on top of that, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I did not have high hopes leaving Tuesday night, watching Tuesday night. I mean, the lead in Pennsylvania in particular seemed insurmountable in terms of
Trump.
Yeah, Trump was up like 500,000 votes. But then I read up on it and I'm like, oh shit, they couldn't even start counting mail-in ballots until the poll was closed.
Yeah, I knew about that from Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
He did that podcast with Tim Dillon and what's the other dude I can't think of on the election night. Or election, yeah, it was election night.
Got it.
I mean, I didn't watch it listen to it that night. Of course, I listened to it that morning.
The next morning.
But that's where I got all my information and started looking shit
up. So, I will tell you, like, the biggest thing about the election for me, dude, the memes around it have been strong.
Yeah, I've seen a few. I have seen a few.
And I'm sorry, the one that, and it doesn't matter what it's about. It like, it's literally could be about anything. Like, it could be about a team coming back in a game. It could be the fucking Avengers one. Gets me every goddamn
those
time.
mail-in ballots.
Every time.
Right.
Like, you've got Chad, and first of all, and it's even more impactful now because Chadwick passed away, and he's just standing there, like, looking somber but happy but serious, and I'm like,
shit! R.I.P. King Von.
Oh yeah.
You heard about that?
I heard about it. I don't know who King Von is.
He's the rapper in Chicago. We had a conversation about him a while ago about that shit, but yeah, they got him in Atlanta.
I heard that it was in Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't mean to cut you off, but when you said R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman, that was the first, because I meant to say that immediately starting the episode just to get it out the way, and I forgot all about it.
I hear you. Well, and that happens. But yeah, so that
what other ones though? I saw the Avengers one. I saw the one with Smokey from Friday and his mom, where she told him to get the cigarettes, and he was like, "It ain't enough," and she was like, "We'll make it enough," and it was Trump's face with the braids coming out.
My one is like the Karen who's like the Karen in the cat meme, where it's that woman who's yelling at the cat. Usually is what you see in the meme, but it's Trump yelling at the Count. The Count from Sesame Street. So it's Trump. It's Eric holding Donald.
Right.
And he's yelling and pointing at the Count from Sesame Street.
Right.
One, one vote. Two,
No, I haven't seen that one.
But anyways, going back to the Avengers one, the one that kills it, like, I haven't seen it done right yet.
What, the Avengers one?
Yeah, because I've seen it with the, with just the clip and, like, a headline that says, mail-in ballots be like, and then it's like the Avengers clip, right?
Right.
I haven't seen the one that does it right, which means
they put the different things on the
exactly. Yep, you know what I'm talking about. Because you know Chadwick's Georgia, right? He has to be.
Right. What else could he be?
Right. So Chadwick's Georgia. Falcon coming in is like. I feel like that has to be.
I feel like he's.
I feel like that has
guy.
to be Pennsylvania.
He might be Pennsylvania.
Right? He's got to be Pennsylvania.
Right.
So he's coming in, and then like Spider-Man, I feel like is Arizona because no one expected it.
Okay.
And then so that leaves Nevada to be, I don't know, Star-Lord, whatever. But I really want to see the one that says Atlanta.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I guess Stephen Colbert did a version. He did like the RNC Endgame, I guess a couple weeks ago. But it's basically like instead of it just being the actual clip, they did a deep fake where they actually put the faces of people on it.
No.
And so like Stacey Abrams comes in is in place of it's Chadwick Boseman. So
Stacey Abrams.
Stacey Abrams is the candidate in Georgia who I think almost won the Senate election last time around. And then she's the one that basically like campaigned hard for Biden in Georgia. Like she's a HBCU grad. She is good chance she would be governor.
Not an older lady, but
not older, but like middle aged, and she
about
would
50,
well maybe a little younger than that even, like 40 something.
She wears glasses.
I
think she was on Deezus and Mero.
Probably.
I think she's.
But she's been doing a lot of
Samaro.
outreach, and people are basically saying like she should be leading the Democratic National Committee.
Right. I think.
Yeah.
I think. If I remember correctly, I think she was on Deezus and Mero. Is how I remember her.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds.
I may be getting her
definitely
face confused,
in the realm,
though. But yeah, I think because I remember that name. I remember hearing them say that name I just can't put the face, but hearing you talk about it makes me think that's who I'm thinking of.
Got it. So you're probably right. But yeah, they go through and it's basically all like it's Mayor Pete from Indiana. Yeah. And then it's I'm trying to remember who's. Anyways, he did it well.
I call him Milk too. Milk.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong. He probably had a better chance of capturing Trump supporters than Biden did, but
who Buttigieg? You think?
Well, all right.
I don't think.
You don't think just because of his
I don't think
status?
Right. I don't think. No, I don't think that's something they can get over.
I hear you.
Well, not all of them, because I hate how we always talk.
Yeah, we lump them all together.
I hate how we do that, because that's not how it. But I mean, that's what happens.
I will lump them in from the being racist perspective. I won't necessarily lump them in from.
I wouldn't lump them in on the racist perspective.
Yeah, that's the one area where I will lump them in from that perspective. From if we're talking Trump supporters.
Well, see that's the thing though. I don't think that all Trump supporters are racist.
You know?
No.
Given all his rhetoric.
No, I just think that a lot of people.
It's not a problem for them.
Right. A lot of people in this world will put their money above all values.
And I hear you on that
Trump
point.
Is saving and or making me money, I can ignore everything else that he does. And a lot of them are saying, like, I don't believe in what he says about, or he sounds like an asshole but he's patting your pocket. So I understand why you vote for him.
So he is, but not for the majority of his base. Like
no, not at all.
Yeah,
not at all.
Right.
It's the exact same thing we talked about last week with Ice Cube's. Mm-hmm. What's it called? Like, yeah, you touching the people above us, but the people
You're
down here, like,
yeah. What the fuck?
You know what I mean?
You ain't doing anything for us. Yeah.
But you know what?
What?
That may be my inadvertent.
What's that?
And this may be the most blasphemous thing you will ever hear.
Oh, this will be good.
Me say. Michigan has us beat in everything but football and water.
You right.
And we've just been brainwashed to like Ohio State so much that we ignore the fact that we're second tier to Michigan.
In every other regard.
Besides economically.
But that's the thing. So what is left when you take away economics
core
and
values, culture, unity.
I hear you. Here's the deal, though, is that what I have found interesting is Cincinnati's probably the outlier, but Cleveland and Columbus, overwhelmingly Democratic. Even more so than, say, Western Pennsylvania and Allegheny.
That's the thing, though, is I don't think in that regard.
I know you don't.
I'm not thinking in a Democratic Republican way.
I am saying educated folks in cities, like, generally speaking.
Well, see, you know what? That's the thing, though. How educated? Because I would argue that a lot of places in Columbus think they're too educated. You know what I mean? Like, you got to think, Detroit started out as a blue-collar city with the automotive industry. So it wasn't a lot of pompous, bitch-ass motherfuckers running through there acting like...
But there wasn't... But Ohio in general was farm and steel.
For the most part.
It was.
For the most part.
We actually... I think what's interesting about Columbus in particular is... I don't know that if we have a target industry. Like, a lot of banks have regional headquarters here. A lot of hospitals, like a lot of our hospitals
company that popped in, that brought in all those jobs.
That was Cincinnati. That was AT&T. That was Cincinnati Bell.
Well, I thought it was Ohio Bell.
Well, it was Ohio Bell, but it was Cincinnati.
But I thought they had my grandfather worked there for like 30 years.
I'm not saying they didn't have major presence here, but I thought Ohio Bell was based out of Cincinnati. I thought it was headquartered in Cincinnati.
I couldn't tell you where the headquarters was, but I know when that came in here, that was when.
But the point there is that I don't know that you can say one industry that defines Ohio. Like Michigan, you can say the automotive industry defines Michigan.
I feel like Michigan is an outlier because there's not a lot of places that you can say that about anything. Michigan and automotive is kind of California and technology. That's the closest to. Yeah. It's similar.
Pennsylvania and steel.
It's similar, but you can't really say that when you say Ohio and all that was involved in that as well. You know what I mean? Like, but they had a lock on that shit for a while.
The only reason
that's like Florida and oranges.
I hear you, but what I'm saying is Ohio in particular, I don't think Ohio has an identity when it comes to the economic side. Is like Eastern Ohio was known for steel, but that was because its proximity to Pittsburgh.
Well, to round it all backward, he's saying that you need an identity to have a well-rounded base. Like,
it's not that you need it to have a well-rounded base, but it definitely determines what kind of people are in the location, in the vicinity.
Okay, and that's I understand.
That's something that I think what I think has transformed Columbus is the medical side. It's the Battels of the world. It's the OSU Medical. It's the nationwide children's, I
can see that.
It's the hospital side. You know what I mean? We have a fair number of regional banks. We have a fair number of insurance companies in Columbus, at least. But I think that's interesting when you can't define what the primary industry of the city is. Like Atlanta right now. Atlanta is a fucking mecca, a new mecca for. It's basically the new Hollywood.
Right. Right.
Pittsburgh and Western PA is, it was steel. They've actually done a good job transitioning to biotechnology
and heroin.
Well, that too. I would actually say that a lot about Western New York, which if we ever have our New York friends on, or Buffalo friends on.
Listen, you know what? It's all jokes, but that's, if you want to be honest, that's everywhere.
It is. Well, it's an epidemic in the country.
It was only a matter of time before these motherfuckers hopped on the needle.
It's only considered an epidemic because it's white people.
Right.
Right? Like, if it wasn't white people...
Didn't they call it the crack epidemic? They just cracked down a little differently.
Right. Well, was it called an epidemic?
I'm pretty sure.
Was it? Okay. I don't know the history on that one, so...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I just feel like that was criminalized a lot more than the heroin epidemic is.
Heroin, they'll give you mandatory rehab.
Speaking of which,
if you're white on heroin. If you're black on heroin, you may not make it to the...
You ain't getting the Narcan station anyway. So
right, that's what I'm saying. You may not make it to the police station, so...
No, I think that actually...
That's your dumbass fault.
So speaking of heroin and other drugs, did you see, there was... Is it Oregon that legalized pretty much any... It decriminalized, rather.
Right, uh-huh.
Like acid, like anything.
Right.
It decriminalized narcotics and hallucinogenics.
I think that's smart as fuck.
Well, I think it's proven to work in other areas in the world.
I mean, I think it's not saying do it. It's just saying, like, let's take it out of the hands of the criminals, making the money. If we decriminalize it, then we're basically taking money that they would be able to be making away. You know what I mean? It's almost like you're watering down the area.
Well, no, it's again making it so whites can make a profit off of it. But
of course.
Speaking of whites making a profit, no. We are actually up to over a third of the country now where marijuana is legal. So that's interesting.
Including Michigan.
True.
Which is another win.
But is recreational legal?
Yes.
Is it recreational there now? So I think that's something that'll be a national thing within the next 4 or 5 years. And it may actually happen under Biden. Not saying he'll be responsible for it. I think the House will introduce it. The Senate will rob it from a taxes perspective, and it'll get approved. I think there will be a federal tax on marijuana, and it's going to solve some budget problems that we've got right now.
Right.
And honestly, that was part of our platform, right?
Listen, they gonna slide to it eventually. I'm telling you, the only thing they might leave off is the verbal assault, and I will stay on emails and commissions and sending whatever I gotta send out. No, I'm just like, I don't need that pass to do what I do.
So I do have the big one for me though was here in Columbus.
What?
We passed the Civilian Review Board for CPD.
What's that
by
mean?
an overwhelming majority, like 78% of the vote.
What's that mean?
A civilian review board that is responsible oversight over the police department, over Columbus Police.
So that's something that they're about to
So
start.
it's been approved by law. It still has to be where we still have a hurdle. Is the hurdle is with the police union, the union contract over police. And honestly, if they don't negotiate, abolish them and start over. Like, that's my position on it. And it's not saying get rid of police, by the way. Like, defund and abolish the police isn't necessarily completely getting rid of. It's about starting over from scratch, because shit's fucked up to the point where there's no negotiating in some cases. And I'm not saying that's CPD, but FOP, I'm looking at you. We'll see what happens.
I don't know. Only abbreviation I do know is with a PD at the end of it.
Well, FOP is Fraternal Order of Police, so that's the union that backs the.
Those are the
officers.
old bastards that.
They're the ones that do the negotiating at the bargaining table. That's who the city of Columbus signs the contract with.
All right.
But that's a big step, and I've had conversations with folks that have had interactions with City Council President Shannon Hardin that feel like he hasn't necessarily always had the backs of his people, meaning black folks.
Who's that? What we talk about?
What do you mean? Shannon Hardin?
Yeah, who is that?
He's Columbus City Council President.
Okay.
And has been for a couple of years. He was also the one that was maced with Joyce Beatty during the George Floyd protest.
You gotta close caption me, baby.
I hear you.
I don't know.
But that's the whole thing, is that I've been trying to pay more attention to local than I have anything else.
Right. And it's
like
crazy.
we actually just ousted a 25-year district attorney that has never once brought a case against a police officer.
For real?
For a Democratic candidate who said he will hold police accountable.
Listen, I didn't vote for anyone I did not know.
That you didn't know? I think that's smart.
I'm not just voting Democrat because it say Democrat. If I haven't heard your name before and know what you're about,
I tell you what was actually...
Skip it.
I tell you what was actually convenient about voting mail-in.
Oh,
I looked up every single fucking one.
That's smart.
And I've looked up, like, what's their record, like... And
Why
honestly, that's what we should be doing for mail-in.
Why wouldn't they give... Well, regardless of mail-in, it seems like when they hound you with all those fucking letters and shit, they should give you a list that that list they give you at the ballot box, where it's like, here's the Democrats, here's the Republicans.
So each party will do that. So if you're registered as a Democrat or a Republican, they will do that. I will tell you, I'm actually registered independent. And because I've signed up for
I didn't think I was registered as a Democrat.
I'm with you. But since I'm registered independent, but I've signed up for Democratic mailing lists for this election in particular.
I don't know what I signed up for. I just know my mom was sending me bullshit, and I was looking at it like. But I do
Why
feel
you
like
giving
this.
Jeannie looks like that?
Listen, I do feel like this. Speaking of, and this is all respect, but I mean this with the bottom of my heart. I feel like
Wait,
everybody...
you mean this from the bottom of your heart, or with the bottom of your heart?
Listen, I mean it. Whichever one means I don't mean it. No, I'm just playing. Because I do mean this. If Biden wins this, after these 4 fucking years, if nothing has changed, I want everybody that hounded me about voting to get in the line.
And I'm gonna
run down like a hockey goal. And
tap
tap. Because I don't know how else to wake motherfuckers up.
But understand, so my point of view on that, Cliff, is that Biden was not the answer. Biden was to stop the bleeding under Trump. And honestly, if his administration goes on and fucking
remember I had a conversation
arrests half a dozen militias, I'm alright with that. If that's the only action that happens. Like, if he labels white supremacists as terrorist organizations, that'll be enough for me. Because that'll mean, all right, we've at least acknowledged the problem. I'm not saying he has to fix the problem. My big thing with Biden is acknowledge the problems and set it on the right track. I know you don't feel that way. I'm just saying.
I remember we had a conversation a long while ago, and I said that I feared actually having a real live politician or president in power after seeing everything that Trump got away with. And I believe I used Biden's name specifically when we had that conversation. And all I'm saying is I don't see... I can see motherfuckers being surprised. Like, unless that motherfucker croaks in that bitch and, Kamala steps in or whatever.
You know Biden isn't making it his full term, right?
What makes you think he won't?
You know Kamala is going to be the first female and the first black female president. We've already talked about it.
Yeah, I do believe we had this conversation as well.
She's the Trojan horse. Trump was right about that. Listen, she's the Trojan horse for the liberal agenda.
Like I said before, and I'll say it again.
By the way, she is not going to be a Trojan horse for the liberal agenda. She was a fucking district attorney.
I don't trust that bitch either.
I'm with you on that front. I told you, my woke side wants her because she's a black female, but doesn't want her because she was a DA.
Man, I'm at the point where I don't give a fuck about none of that bullshit. Black, white. Who the fuck gonna do the job right?
I hear you.
I don't care if they black. I don't care. Listen.
Well, and honestly, that was part of what we talked about with, quote unquote, the contract last week. Was Ice Cube was basically saying, I don't give a fuck who I'm talking to.
Listen,
I've got my agenda for Black America, and I'm with you. I don't necessarily think that that's a everyman Black America agenda. I think it's a rich black man agenda in North America.
What I will say is next year I'm buying. Matter of fact, I don't need to buy them. For some reason, I don't know where Blue got them from, but I have at least 25 walkie-talkies at my house.
Why?
I don't. They're in a trash bag.
Oh, so we're ready to do our own militia thing.
Clearly, they're in a trash. I opened up my closet door. It was a trash bag to my closet door, and I'm looking through it. It's a whole bunch of electronic shit, wires and shit. I pull all that shit out. I'm looking down. It's hella walkie-talkies. Hella of them. No joke, at least 15 walkie-talkies. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to position them around my house, and I'm going to keep them on 24/7 with my frequency pressed. And hopefully it reaches somewhere far, far away. And I'm voting for the next green motherfucker that comes down here 2024. You hear what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Because I don't trust none of y'all black, white, yellow, brown, red, whatever you want to call it. Give me somebody green. You hear what I'm saying? Somebody that don't look like they've been here for a while.
So speaking of great memes, that was actually one that I saw this week too. That was basically like aliens show up and they're like, we are about to take control of your resources and overthrow your government and take over your economy. And people are like, please.
right.
They're up there with the signs like an Independence Day. The one white girl that's like, welcome.
Right. Listen, that's what I'm saying. I'm voting for the next green motherfucker. It could be Mars attacks in this bitch. Hey, sir, meet me. I'm voting for you.
I'm with you.
The fuck?
I'm with you.
Because these devils here, boy, they ain't getting it.
I mean, my thing is right now, like, and again, the election hasn't been decided at this point, right?
Right.
Things are leaning heavily in Biden's favor. He could
way.
have
There's only a certain amount of people that give a fuck either way.
Well, I hear you on that. My thing is that, okay, so we've stopped, and I'm not saying, my whole thing is I don't think Biden is the cure. I've never said that Biden is the cure.
I understand what you mean, though. And
Biden is to stop the bleeding.
Right, that was a good analogy right there.
But I do think Biden stopping the bleeding, and especially with the Senate control very close, we could be looking at some major change just from if Democrats gain control of the presidency, the House, and the Senate, you could actually see a push on a progressive agenda, and I'm not saying it would get where it needs to get to, but you would actually see it move in the right direction.
Listen.
Go for it.
What's the only way to stop the bleeding and guarantee that you killed all the infection?
Tourniquet. Is that where you're going? Cut it off?
No. There's only one other way I know of.
Alright, so I've said tourniquet or cut it off. What else you got left?
You gotta burn that shit out.
Burn it out. I agree.
You gotta burn that shit out.
But that goes to what I said earlier that you didn't agree with, which is what did I say? I said you have to designate white supremacist organizations.
I don't think that that's so much the
You don't think that's the problem. Is the infection
right. You're not
top,
listen.
Is the infection the top 1%?
Right. The infection is the top 1% controlling the politicians and all these people that aren't getting anything
I can get behind you on that.
So that means the top 1% as well as the politicians if y'all can't find a way to change your ways. You know what I mean?
I agree. I hear you.
Because that's the issue. The bottom line is those.
I got a little internet business myself. It's called robbing motherfuckers.
Right.
Is that Ludacris? Is that Chicken and Beer? I think that was the Chicken and Beer's. I think that was his first album. Chicken and Beer, or not first. It was
no, that wasn't the first.
It was second or third album.
Second.
But Chicken and Beer was a great album. And what was the name of that song where he's coughing and it's like the machine guns going off in the back, or the automatics going off in the back. I don't remember what it was.
I don't know. I wouldn't.
But it's one of. I'm with you. I'm not a huge Ludacris fan, but
I
that
know
particular
the third
album
one was what Golden Grain when he had I-20 and
yeah.
I do know.
You know which one I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the intro skit for that song, which was I got a little internet business too. It's called robbing motherfucker.
Yeah. I do remember that.
Oh man, hey, if you're out in the chat and you know what I'm talking about, what's the song that comes after that skit? And I know it was on the Chicken and Beer album. I'm sorry, you were trying to say something. I cut you off.
I don't even remember what I was saying. But with you saying that, that made me think, is that the next, you asked last week, what's the next niche, or what's it called?
Oh, what's the niche gig economy?
Right, gig economy, right. But
is it robbing motherfuckers?
I was about to say maybe that's it, but I mean,
I'll tell you what, that was actually the plot of Westworld.
They
season
already
3.
got Airbnb, so maybe that's a 2-in-1
right
there. I don't know.
Unfortunately, that was already claimed by, I think it was Westworld season 3 that claimed that. But,
claim what?
It was basically.
I've been hearing a lot of things about that. Is that good?
About Westworld?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that you would like it. I think it's a little too heady. And season 3 is a little too sci-fi.
Okay, I can't give the sci-fi. I like the trippy out shit, but I don't like.
I think you would actually like season 1 and maybe season 2, so maybe you would stick it out for season 3. Honestly, season 2 was too heady for me. Like, I hated season 2. Season 3 was went a little heavy on the sci-fi element, which is more my style.
Right.
Season 1, I actually think you would love.
I've been hearing some.
It would trip you out by the end of it.
Okay, that might be.
But Westworld's solid. Westworld's a good show.
You know me, I just don't like when we get to like dragons or aliens.
No, this is AI. So this is
okay. Well, that's different.
This is robots pretending to be humans type shit.
Okay, I can. Well, that I
and
can see.
As you watch the show, you don't know who's real and who's not.
I think we had a conversation.
We might have. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the show. Season 1, I
so basically
adored.
Everybody went
Season
to Carnegie
2,
Mellon.
Kinda. Season 1 I adored. Season 2 got a little too. It went a little too all over the place for me. Season 3 was. Season 3 was very sci-fi. But what you're talking about in terms of there being a gig economy around robbing motherfuckers, there was actually basically there was an app where you could basically, like, it was abduct, kidnap, murder, rob, like...
Who you pick.
Right, exactly. And there were people that were part of that app that could, like, basically see them come through and they were like, oh, I'll take that job. Right. Kind of the same way that, like, whatchamacallit works today, like Uber or whatever.
Right.
So, that's
that legal? In Westworld?
It's not that it was. So by that point, they weren't in Westworld. That was kind of a in the world, out in the real world type thing.
And they ran shit.
It's hard to explain. So that was basically just the same way it is today, like a rideshare app. So nobody was really in charge of it.
Well, I'm sure that's
but people
real.
could use it.
I'm sure that happens right now.
I think it's possible.
I'm sure that there's a black web Craigslist.
Dark web, Craigslist.
Oh yeah, that's what it's called, dark web.
Yeah, not everything has to be black and white. Bro.
Right. Listen, shades of gray, motherfucker. But I bet all you gotta do is say that. Listen,
right.
You can add locations and shit.
You can do, yeah.
Was you at? Yeah, you was at Malcolm's bachelor party when my
right.
dude was like, just share your location. And I was thinking,
fuck
like,
no.
Location.
No.
I did it.
Terrible idea.
I did it, and he didn't get it. So clearly, they got some more work to do.
Share your location with who?
With the dude, he was supposed to be dropping off shit for the bachelor party.
Oh, okay. Was it like a click list or some shit? Like he was GoPuff or?
No, it was somebody I knew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it was somebody that I knew.
So you were like
personally.
trying to text him your address.
But I didn't know where we were, and he was like, just share me your location.
Gotcha.
And I bet it's just that simple that you could just share a location. Like, this is...
Right.
I'm sharing their location. Do you want this? You can see who they are from this shared location.
Well, I mean, we're not far off of whatever the fuck they were showing in Westworld, so I agree with you on that.
Oh, that's what I was saying. And isn't that crazy the way my mind works of what this conversation...
What it triggered for you?
Listen, what I was saying was burn out the infection. The top 1% are the problem because I don't care, our militia, racist, boogaloo boys, KKK, whatever they're not an issue.
Well, because we can take them.
Not even that. I'm just saying. I'm not even.
Just saying.
Listen. I don't know. As soft as a lot of people are on the opposite end.
I hear you.
But what I'm saying is, they're us in reverse. You know what I mean? They're struggling to make it like we are. They feel as if they're not getting enough as well.
Their rage is misplaced because they're blaming you or
instead of blaming
Asians
the people that's doing it to all of us.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So to be honest, you're not a threat because
you're
not
facing
big
the
enough.
same issues.
You know what I mean? You have guns. Oh well, we all do. You're not big enough though. They're the ones that are fucking everything up.
So I guess my question is at this point, and this will probably be incendiary to some point. Are the top 1% really that well protected? Or
no,
if people were to rise up at this point?
No, that's what I've been saying
fuck them up.
Listen, that's what I've been saying forever. And even if they were that protected, you would have to start showing yourself. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the only way you could be that well protected is if you had pockets of military governments.
Right.
And you're not Fidel Castro. You don't have your own specific military. And if you do, we already know you because you're on a list.
Right.
But if you don't, you would have to call in specific countries' armies to come protect you.
So, from that regard, like, and this is something that I'm sure will, again, be inflammatory or whatever, but I don't necessarily think that Trump supporters or militias are wrong in the sense of the problems that we're facing.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
I don't necessarily think that it's a quote-unquote deep state problem. It is what you're talking about in terms of it being people with the money pull the strings.
Right.
And if people were to rise up, it shouldn't be against one another from a Democratic versus Republican standpoint. Trump supporters, listen to what I'm saying right now.
Not at all.
You are aiming your guns at the wrong fucking people. No one is trying to steal the election. The people that are trying to steal from you are the people behind those being elected.
But that's been that. Listen.
But I'm agreeing with you on the sense that
your gun shouldn't be
pointed. Your gun shouldn't be pointed at Biden. Your gun should be pointed at his major donors that are sitting behind him.
Okay, that's a good.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, you kind of gotta get at him to get at the donors, right?
You don't though.
How do you know?
He's a puppet. If anything, he's a puppet.
Oh, well, any president is.
Exactly. So what good does it do to kill the puppet? Iron Man 3, the Mandarin. The Mandarin is a fake, a phony, a fraud. He's the one that's on TV saying, "We will kill your families. We will kill you. We will do this." And meanwhile, he's an actor. And it's Killian who's sitting behind the background is the weapons manufacturer.
That's always how it is.
Agreed. But what good does it do to cut off the figurehead? Because guess what? They'll find another figurehead. They'll find another dummy.
But see,
that's not the problem. The problem is the rich motherfuckers sitting behind him with the money.
But you have to understand how these people think. You feel what I'm saying? They don't see them. What's not seen, if you don't see it, it doesn't exist. You feel what I'm saying? Right now, you are the face of the issues I'm going through. So you are my enemy.
But that's the whole thing, is that you have to be able to look past
zeros and ones.
I agree with you.
Zeros and ones.
Zeros and ones. Absolutely.
I've been saying that for the longest time. That's why I would never look at somebody on the other side immediately like, oh yeah, you're just foul and you're... No.
Now, don't get me wrong. There are
people that way. There are people that way. But I'm not going to lump the majority of you together. You know what I mean? And that, whether that be politics or militias or classism, or I'm not going to lump all of you together.
And you know what? What you're saying actually here's where I understand how Trump was successful. He was playing to people's fears and directing them where he wanted to direct them.
Right. Almost like a tool.
In my mind, he was wrong about where he was directing them.
Right.
Because ultimately, he should be directing them at people like himself. That are millionaires, billionaires, whatever.
Well, you know what? If he was a genius on some genius shit, he would have been.
What do you mean? Say more.
If he was on some genius shit, like thinking beyond just this presidency, you could have used your power subliminally to target all of the people that you're competing with.
Currently. Exactly. You could have pointed them at the Jeff Bezos, the fucking...
everyone. So when you do
Bill Gates,
step off of the podium, you're like, yeah, now that you're out the way and you're out the way... Trump has a new delivery service. He delivers groceries as well as packages.
But he's not that smart. That's the problem. Like, I don't necessarily think he was wrong from the like, the things he incited fear about.
No.
Were not wrong.
No,
and that's why he got elected.
Right.
The problem is he was pointing at the wrong people. Like, guess what? Trump supporters, if you're out there, I understand how you feel from the standpoint of not getting your fair share, drain the swamp, all that. He pointed you at the wrong people. He should have been pointing you at people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, probably Bill Gates, even though I like the dude, Warren Buffett. Those are the people who are your enemy. It's not the people that you're next to in the streets.
I don't like any of them.
That have no regard for who you are.
Right.
And guess what? Some people are starting to get it from that upper echelon. You know how I know? Because you have people like Bob Iger, who was the CEO of Disney, who backs a lot of the same causes in terms of election support and doing the right thing. And guess what? I don't think he's a good dude. But
grandson of a Nazi.
He is at least trying to save himself by putting money in the right place. He's not a direct heir of Disney.
Okay.
He was hired actually from like
been
ABC
that long
Sports.
Ago. It might be son, might not be grandson.
And don't get me wrong, like I actually like Iger because I've read his book and I kind of understand where he came from and how he came up. And I'm not saying that's the true picture. What I'm saying is that he pushed against a lot of stuff.
But you got to understand, people are also put in place because of who they are.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Or because they're... So let me put it to you like this. And I don't know if this will hit the way it hit with me, the way you're talking like that, but I just want to give you an example of the way people are manipulative. So, Joe Coy was on
Theo. Comedian, right? The Asian
the Asian, Filipino comedian was on Theo Von's podcast this past weekend. It was great because it wasn't just comedy; it was real shit. It was great. But what he went over. I like Joe Coy, so I'm with you. I do too. He went over his. Talking about how big he was even before Netflix really came out. You know what I mean? He was on Chelsea lately and doing all that, and he said he's seen people passing him up getting Netflix specials, so he approached Netflix and was like, I want to, have a special.
Okay.
Netflix turned it down.
It feels like Netflix says yes to everything.
Right, so they turned him down. So what he said is, they said, if you want a special, you're going to have to pay for it yourself. We don't want it. Okay. So that's what he did. He paid for it himself. But he paid for it himself in hopes that Netflix would buy it.
Got it.
He said before he went to film his show in Arizona or where, I might have thrown that state out, but it was somewhere, Netflix called and said, just to let you know before you go through it spending this money, we're not in. Right.
Yeah.
He does it anyway. Long story short, they end up buying it.
Okay.
But here's the thing. So he says he tells the story. He goes out to a comedy show. He's out in Malaysia. He's out in Malaysia thinking he's cool there, feels comfortable enough to tell the story about Netflix.
What's going on.
Right. And so happens that a Netflix president was in the crowd. Now I kind of cut some off because I'm trying to be quick. But in the end, he was basically trying to make it to be a triumph story. Where it was like, you denied me the first time, but you bought it. And now I have full creative control of anything that I do. I can even tell you when I plan on shooting and when I need the money to shoot, and they provide it to me. So he was basically trying to big up him at the end, and he said when the dude approached him about it, he was nervous. Like, I didn't know you were going to be here. I'm sorry if I... And dude told him... and dude told him, no, we want you to tell that same joke on your next special.
Got it.
But my whole thing about that is that's how manipulative people are.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Is that they'll pick you because that you went through that and people know you don't stand with them, and then they'll tell you to do something that looks like you're standing against them just to get a little more slack on that fishing line.
Absolutely.
Because they're trying to catch more fish out further. Yep. So you're taking that hook out further for me, and then I'm going to reel all those fish in,
Everybody.
But that's how scandalous it is, and that's only from a marketing perspective with a fucking streaming company. So imagine what the leader of the free world and the people above them
But that's
are
the whole
really
thing
doing.
Is that I am not saying what I hope. So this is going to end up being blasphemous, given my status as a woke white boy.
Say what you say. Shock value.
Trump needed to happen.
I've been said that.
And I agree with you. And I
said we wouldn't have been here if Hillary was there. We wouldn't have made no progress whatsoever.
Agreed.
It had just been pulling more shades over our eyes.
I do think that Trump was the reaction to a rubber band effect from Obama. Meaning, from a racism perspective.
Right.
I also believe that, and having tried to listen to, like, my whole thing with him, this election cycle, and I didn't watch the first debate, so I don't know how crazy that got. I watched the last debate. He's not wrong in some of the comments that he's making. I think that he approaches it the wrong way because I think he is a man-child. But his points around deep state and career politicians and drain the swamp and blah, blah, blah are not wrong points.
Right.
But he didn't do anything any different. Like, it's not like honestly, if he had drained the, quote-unquote, drained the swamp the way he promised to, I might actually have voted for him myself.
Listen.
But he actually put people in charge of things that were just like him.
Right.
So his message wasn't wrong. His solutions were wrong.
Well. Let me say something, and this is just me playing devil's advocate
Go for
here.
it.
You know I do that.
I know you do.
And as much as I'm not serious, I am at the same time. What's the difference between him and LeBron James?
What do you mean? Say more there, because I'm not making that connection.
I'm going to become the king of the world, and I'm putting all my people on. People were saying that his, I can't think of his name. What's the dude's name? Dallas Prince, his manager, couldn't be manager because he didn't go through the managerial, things that NBA made. So they tried to cut him out of the league.
Out of it.
But LeBron was like, nah, this is my manager. Get over it. And eventually he got in there. So my whole thing is...
So it's a talent thing at that point.
Okay. Touche. Okay.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Touche.
What I'm saying is...
LeBron is more fit to make those decisions than
Yes.
Trump would be. I could agree with that.
I mean, honestly, like I said...
That was just a toss out, but
I think the points he's making aren't wrong.
Because when you want to put your boys on,
I think he fell into the exact same trap.
Right.
He hired people he knew, and he listened to the wrong people.
Listen, if I got a good job the other day, I don't care how ill qualified my people were. I'd be like, do you think you could do? Do you think could you fake it for a while?
Right.
I would like to have you before I'd have
Trust
somebody
me,
else.
at this point, if I were to go and pull a fucking Killer Mike and start my own bank that was geared towards African Americans.
Right. The Green Bank.
Shout out to the Green Bank. You don't think that I would hire you as my chief marketing officer?
Let me tell you something.
Are you the most qualified person to be a chief marketing officer, Cliff? I love you. The answer is no.
I'll figure it out, though. I'm not going to let these black financiers down. You hear what I'm saying? I'll figure it out.
If I were smart, I would just put you in charge of security.
Gray in between. That probably, but I don't know how much you got to secure on the internet. I might be better off with the marketing than the hacking prevention.
Well, I'm talking about no, I take that back. Facilities and security management.
Okay, right.
You would still have a top tier position, but I'm probably not putting you in charge of technology.
No,
to your
don't
point.
do that. Well, no, what you do is you put me in charge of the marketing and you give me the team that knows how to do the bullshit.
Right.
I can tell you what we need. I just don't know how to get it, fix it, make it for me.
I hear you on that point.
I don't know that.
Oh,
but
man.
You can't be mad at that. Only thing is, like, you gotta, you talking about, I respect him for that.
I don't.
For being that bold to be like, I don't give a fuck if they don't know shit. I'm president. I'm putting my son and them here. Fuck what y'all think. I respect that. That takes some big balls to do that. Like, yeah, I know they're gonna look at me like an asshole. My son's still gonna be director. The whole country's watching. I don't care.
I don't give a fuck.
I only got. Listen. He it's almost like he was thinking like I only got 4 years to fuck this shit up.
Right.
So I'm gonna make all the money I can for all the people I love while I do it.
I mean,
Ivanka, the half retarded, both of that Down syndrome.
Eric and
oh my gosh, if they aren't missing a chromosome, the motherfuckers look like the hills have eyes on everything I love. I'm telling you, like somebody slicked back. What's her name from the Goonies, and you got one of the sons of the Trump.
Speaking of
sloth, slick back a sloth and see if you don't have a Trump son. I'm telling you, where's the memes right now?
It's funny that you're bringing up the Goonies because up until 3 weeks ago, I had never seen the Goonies. Never. My wife.
I thought we watched it back at.
I've never seen.
You probably wasn't there because I'm pretty sure we watched it back at Mansion.
I hear you. Never seen the Goonies.
Man, I think that was the first time I saw it was at Mansion.
Is a huge fan.
I have it on DVD.
We introduced it to my son about
Loves
3 weeks ago. Loves it. Has made us watch it half a dozen times.
Oh, I gotta come watch it with him.
And you know that because he's a bigger kid, who did he identify with?
Sloth.
No.
Oh, Chunk.
Chunk!
I thought he was.
I like Sloth. Shuffle.
I like Sloth the most because he was just.
You
guys.
Man,
he was roughing everybody up, especially when he came down at the end on the rope. I love Sloth.
A-Reg is all about Chunk and the Truffle Shuffle.
I love Sloth. Man.
So you are welcome to come watch.
Oh, that's
Goonies with
already
A-Reg.
done.
He's also a big fan now of. So we've introduced him to a couple of '80s movies over the last few months. We've introduced him to the Goonies, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Okay, that was one of my favorites.
It was decent.
I think I actually went to a drive-in
to see that.
Not the first one, but the second one.
Honey, I blew up the blew up the kid.
The baby that was with the Michelin Man, the
we
tire
watched that
dude.
one too.
I think I seen that at a drive-in with my mom and my cousins back.
You know the other one that was a favorite of his.
TJ and them.
Okay. All right. The other one that was a favorite of his was Flight of the Navigator, which I actually saw at Mansion.
I don't know if I know that.
Flight of the Navigator was the one where the kid goes to find his brother or meet his brother somewhere, falls in a ditch, and it's a spaceship, and he's like connected to the spaceship.
Now that sounds familiar.
It's kind of E.T. like.
That sounds familiar,
but it's this like big silver spherical spaceship, and he's basically got like a connection to the spaceship.
I think I might have seen it, and I just don't know that's what it was called.
I think you would recognize it if you saw it.
Yeah, I don't know the name.
Same way, like I would recognize Goonies if I saw it, but I don't remember ever watching
Goonies
that.
was. Between me and you, I'd roll up on that DVD case. Almost. It's what I'm saying. It's out. It's one of my top DVDs, and I can watch it whenever.
I hear you. Rhiannon, I see you out there shouting out the 80s movies.
Listen.
She's asking about the Page Master. Anybody got anything
I
on
know
that
about
one?
the Page Master. You don't know about that? He was in a library and he had to like read books, but he would jump inside of the book that he read.
Okay.
Is that right, Rhiannon? Help me out. I believe that is though. I remember the cover is him opening up a book in the library with a big bookshelf behind him.
Okay. I don't remember that one, but
it was I
Rhiannon,
can't think of the
I'm sure will chime in if she remembers it. So.
Yeah, I remember that. I know it wasn't an 80s movie, but what was that one movie with Tom Hanks? Was it Radio Flyer? Where he built the plane out of a wagon so his brother could fly away from their abusive dad.
Ooh, I don't know that one.
You've never seen that?
No.
Oh,
no. By the way, Rhiannon did say you got it right on Page Master.
Okay, yep. Radio Flyer is a classic. He builds like an airplane for his little brother.
So is it like the Astronaut Farmer, but it's with a radio flyer? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. His dad's abusive is all I know.
Okay.
And it's an older brother and a younger brother. And the older brothers, they're both into aviation. So they go out and they work on this like...
See, I feel like I didn't watch a lot of late 80s, early 90s kids movies. My dad was showing me like Total Recall.
Oh, this
and
Aliens.
Like...
that's how my dad.
Well, that's why I'm actually surprised that you know this shit better
was.
than I do. Because my dad was not about watching like the kids movies.
Let's just say
like,
that
I knew Alien, I knew Raiders of the Lost Ark, I knew fucking Predator, Goonies and like Page Master.
My dad showed me shit I didn't have no business watching.
Fucking whatchamacallit, God damn, why am I tripping on the name now? Arnold, Total Recall. Total
Recall. Right, where the chick has 3 tits.
The 3 boobs, yes.
Now that, I watched that with my dad. I watched that at my Uncle Tone's house. I was with my dad, but that I seen there. But, listen, he
Total Recall was my shit. I fucking love Total Recall.
I mean, of course, the shock value of being a child watching it.
It wasn't even the 3 boobs. It was the fucking Quado coming out of his chest.
When I saw it, I used to be like,
"Screw you, Benny!"
Oh my god! when it popped out his chest on the hospital table, I was like, yeah, no, I'm done with this. I can't watch it.
Or
anymore.
when like he fucking takes the big fucking drill and puts it through the black dude, Benny. That's what he said. He goes, "Screw you, Benny."
No, I don't.
The black taxi driver that is with him the whole movie, like not the whole movie, but like when he gets to Mars.
I can't see his name.
And then
Wait.
He drills through him and he goes, "Screw you, Benny." Like
I think I'm seeing
or where he has to hold his
up.
hand like this to fucking turn on the water within fucking in Mars. Like he does this because the aliens' hands were shaped like this, so that's how he melts the ice core.
Oh no!
And releases the atmosphere into Mars. Like yes, this is how that movie goes.
Definitely don't remember. And listen, that shit was so old. That came out in 1990.
What did? Total Recall? Yeah.
I didn't know it was that.
I couldn't remember if it was late 80s, early 90s. I knew it was.
Johnson. Okay, that's not who I thought it was, but he looks similar.
Well, and it's what? Michael Ironside, I think, is the villain, right?
Uh-huh.
Who, by the way, was the villain in, like, I feel like 80% of late 80s, early 90s movies.
Yeah, he was.
He was definitely typecast.
Listen to...
Rhiannon, what's the ... about? You don't agree with us on what we're talking about? Or, like, we were trying to talk about something else and you lost where we were?
Is that Sharon Stone?
I feel like, yeah, wasn't that his wife?
Yeah, I mean, that's back in her prime.
All right, hey, I gotta take a piss. Do you want to take a break, or do you want to cover for 30 seconds?
I can cover.
All right, you got it.
Why
take
not?
it, run it.
Why not? But fuck
you can't just
that.
say why not.
No, I was just getting over that.
Sharon Stone.
Yeah. That tripped me out because, listen, let me first tell y'all this. Just because I don't know what future lies for any of you out there, as well as I don't know what the future lies for me. But what I will say is, while it is always okay and encouraged to party, do not party beyond your means. You hear what I'm saying? Because that shit has an expiration date. And you don't end up checking out on the expiration date. So you could expire 5 years from the start of your party time and only be 35 years old. So if you look like you're 62, bad teeth. I'm not saying that that's what Sharon Stone is reminding me of in this picture. I'm just saying she's seen better days. Or maybe they're just trying to play her. I didn't even know. Let me leave it at that. But let's just say, do the things that you enjoy doing. Don't try that new shit. Don't let people talk you into things that you're not prepared for. And always know your limits. You hear what I'm saying? That's half the reason why I think that most people don't blow until they're older anyway. Because God knows if I blew in my 20s before knowing my limits, I'd be in somebody's ditch somewhere, face down, for I don't know what the reason was, is all I'm saying. But Sharon Stone, God bless you.
Rhiannon chiming in with it was boobs. Y'all remember the movie because the girl had 3 tits.
No. That's not even it. That's a good assumption.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I remember that part.
Was she the one with the 3 tits? It wasn't her.
It wasn't her. No, she was his wife.
Right. She didn't have the 3 tits.
That he kills when he realizes that it's a simulation, or he thinks it's a simulation. So there's one point where Arnold
need to rewatch this.
There's one point where Arnold gets captured. His wife shows up, and she is basically trying to convince him that it's a simulation. And I don't know if he doesn't believe it or if he thinks that she's a plant, but he blows her brains out. He fucking shoots her in the middle of the head.
Right. Yeah, no. All I know is she was beautiful.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. It's not that she wasn't hot.
And then I don't know what happened afterwards. That's all I got to say. But I don't know.
I don't even know how we got on this track.
I don't either.
Have we been talking about
shit,
80 movies?
Goonies.
It wasn't the Goonies.
Total Recall. You
Hey,
went from
you guys.
You went from
Goonies to 80s movies to.
You went from
Here
a
we
slanty eye to 3 tits. I don't know how you did that.
I mean, you know.
Well, I guess it's a strokey eye. I wouldn't say
Three
slanty.
tits. That solves it, doesn't it? At least that's what Rianne thinks. So. Oh man.
Speaking of movies, though, what you?
Do you want to get on this? You want to get on this heist movie
Why
shit?
not?
I mean, honestly, we're about 90 minutes in. This seems like a good way to wrap up the last half hour.
I believe so too.
So I guess my question is: you want to go first? Or you want to go second? What do you got?
It depends. What do you want to do?
No, I'm asking you.
I'm fully prepared.
I am giving you the floor because I feel like you were more prepared for it than I was 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so you want me to do, but I feel like if I do it and I do it too well, you'll probably back out. Like I don't want to do it.
I mean, no,
anymore.
I actually like my idea a lot. I might scale it back a bit if I think that yours wins.
Okay.
And we can get to a fool's agree on yours if that's the case, but
okay, because I'm prepared, baby.
I will share mine regardless. Don't get it twisted.
Well, I got 2 lists, and I base it on.
I got it listed here. The list is in.
Right.
It goes Reggie, Jay-Z, Tupac, and Biggie.
Oh right. Okay, so my first question is.
Oh, so you got your notes and everything. I'm
yes,
impressed.
I did. I
you
got
ready
all
to
that.
go?
So who's president?
Why? It's your movie. You decide.
Oh, this is a movie?
Oh, I thought we were talking about Heist. Are we talking about the Heist movie thing, or what are you talking about?
Oh, this was supposed to be prefaced as like a movie.
I thought that was the whole point.
Okay, so if
So you tell me what you got.
Okay,
and then maybe this won't be a thing, but I thought we were talking about a movie.
So what I got, the text message I got from you was, interesting topic. If you were to put a heist together using all movie characters, who would you pick?
Right.
So I didn't think of it as a movie. I was just
you
thinking
thought
doing
of it
a real heist.
A real
with
heist.
Movie
Okay.
characters.
All right. Run it. That's fine.
Okay.
Mine was set up to be a movie, but it would fit in reality.
Well, I guess either way, like it works either way. But that's why I need to know who's president, because that would depend on my heist.
Mine assumes Biden's president. I'll tell you that.
Well, I'll give you Biden, and then I'll give you I don't know what the fuck he talking about with your prince-headed ass. I'll give you
Is that Mal?
yeah. Who else got a prince head? I'll give you Biden first, and then I'll give you Trump for shits and giggles.
Okay.
So if it's Biden, it would have to be a casino.
Okay.
More specifically, an Indian reservation, because I feel like they give you less, like there's less consequences if you get caught, because they don't. If we know anything about us, we don't give a fuck about blacks or Indians, mostly. But
I like where you're going there.
You know, so I said specifically an Indian reservation. So I'm gonna give you my list. I'm gonna give you.
I mean, if you listen to the guy that talked to my mom and Dan on their trip across the country, the Indians will kill you.
Listen, that's what I'm telling you. So they might be thinking we doing them a favor, alleviating them of some of those funds. So if Biden was president, we going for a casino on an Indian reservation. First, I need Jim Sturgis, who you may not know, who played in the movie 21 as the card counter.
You said Jim Sturgis? I know a Jen Sturgis.
Jim Sturgis, he was the dude with the brown hair who's coming out of college.
Okay, yeah. No, I actually like the movie 21 because that's no, I'm thinking
that's Kevin Spacey.
Is it Alicia Keys that's in that one with
No,
21?
you're thinking of Smoking Aces.
You're right. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right.
And that's how good I am, is that those don't
even
correlate,
amazing.
And I still know the difference.
I actually think
you're just thinking cards. 21, blackjack, Smoking Aces.
Fair enough.
But I need him. Now, his purpose would be for bait.
Okay.
And he would be located at the blackjack table, of course. That's needless to say.
Okay.
Now, second, I need Will Smith from Focus. Him and the Margot Robbie flick. Yeah, remember he was stealing. The whole movie was about him stealing from people.
Okay.
And he recruited Margot Robbie to help.
I feel better about my suggestion now. So yes, I'm glad. Okay, run it. Go.
So Will Smith from Focus, he is playing a high roller. His purpose is just bait and distraction only, and he will be at the crap table.
Okay.
So I got a man on the blackjack table, a man on the crap table. Nextly, I need Catherine Zeta-Jones from Entrapment.
Okay.
Mostly just in case there's lasers. There may be lasers. We might need you to
I feel you on that point. I understand.
She will be playing backup to the high roller, who would be Will Smith, which means she would also be at the crap table.
Okay.
Okay. Then we go on to Kevin Costner with 3,000 Miles to Graceland. Never seen that?
No, but I think I'm loosely familiar concept-wise. But
where all the Elvises and they rob the
casino. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's on the right track.
Okay, so he's going to be my point on the extract of the cash.
Okay.
Just because you know casinos, you know guns, you are loyal, you're my point. Then we're going with Bokeem Woodbine. I don't know if you know him. He was the black dude in 3,000 Miles from Graceland, but because I didn't want to double a movie, I felt like that was cheating. I'm going to go with the Bokeem Woodbine from Dead Presidents.
Okay.
He's the black dude with the gap.
With the gap. All right. Yeah.
Then, here we go. I only got 1, 2, 4 more. I think that totals at 9.
Okay.
Then I'm going with Clive Owen with Inside Man.
Okay.
He's going to be my Inside Man.
Inside Man. Yeah, right. Exactly.
His location would be... I'm sorry. Bokeem is the second on the extraction. So he's the backup to Kevin Costner. I didn't say that before. Only because he backed him up in 3,000 Miles to Graceland. He knows casinos too, even though we're talking about Dead Presidents. He still did a heist of the bank, so I know he knows guns and an exit strategy.
Okay.
So he's back up to Kevin Costner. Then we got Clive Owen, who is the Inside Man, who will be playing my Inside Man. He will be, his location will be the security office, as he will enter the security team through application, whether it be third party or specifically to the casino.
Okay, so he's either a contractor or a subcontractor.
Right, either way, he's in there specifically behind the scenes on the casino. Then I got Ansel Elgort from Baby Driver. He's my getaway driver.
Ansel Elgort?
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Whatever is fucking...
I haven't seen Baby Driver. I've heard nothing but good things about it.
I've seen pieces of it. I always kind of fall asleep in the middle.
That's my thing. Like, I actually think I own it. And I've never made it through.
I fall asleep in the middle. I remember he lost his hearing, and I don't know how good he drive not knowing the music. Yeah. But I believe he felt the speaker too. So I feel like
that movie's all about the soundtrack. Is actually what I heard.
Right. Okay. Here's where we get a little right. Hugh Jackman from Swordfish.
Ooh. Okay.
He's gonna be my hacker.
Okay, so he's your guy in the chair.
Right, he's in the white van outside a couple blocks down where nobody's looking, controlling everything. Yeah. Lastly is this is my ringer.
What you got?
I don't necessarily have a movie to name.
Okay.
But she's done so many, I'm sure we've touched a couple. I'm going with Betty White.
Oh, I love it.
I'm going Betty White, and why I said I didn't put her in a action position because I know she's done movies gambling. Don't know if you done robbing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So She's just my lookout. Her hearing aid is she's my
earpiece.
ears. She's my ears on the floor.
I like it. I
You
like
hear
it.
what I'm
I like
saying?
it. I hear you.
Right. So that's my lineup.
Okay.
Now, did you want to go with my plan, or did you want to go line up before I introduce my plan? My plan is quick. My lineup was a page and a half. My plan is only one.
I feel like that's kind of similar to mine, so let me give you my lineup.
Okay.
All right, so because I said mine was a movie, right? I said this is going to be a movie.
Okay, right. I'm following.
My movie is actually called The Contract.
Okay.
And we'll see if you can pick up on what contract I'm talking about here. Ludacris, his character from Fast and the Furious is my getaway driver. That's my getaway driver. Samuel L. Jackson from Pulp Fiction, Jules. He's kind of my hitman. He's the one that's going to actually like carry out the dirty business.
Okay. Wasn't he a cop though in that? No, he wasn't a cop.
No, he wasn't. They were guns for hire, basically.
Right, okay. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
O'Shea Jackson.
From Den of Thieves?
Yep. Den of Thieves is also my other hitman.
Now, he was definitely a cop.
He was. I think you're right. I think you're right on
yeah,
that. And that actually works better for what I'm going to plan with him. So, don't worry. We'll get to that.
But you got to know he's crooked, though. And he's not.
But you don't know in this movie.
Okay, I see. Okay, I'll let you slide. The Betty slid, I'll let you slide on that.
Mos Def and Don Cheadle are my demolitions experts.
And I already know what you're talking about. That's from
it's Italian Job and what's are they both Italian Job?
Yeah. No. Wait, no. You said Mos Def and Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
No. Don Cheadle's Ocean's 11.
Ocean's 11. Yes.
And Mos Def is
yes, that's right. Mos Def.
I almost said Marky Mark with Italian Job, but I was like, nah.
Ice Cube is actually starring as himself.
For the contract. The contract with Black America.
That's right. Yeah.
Ooh, I might want to know you're playing.
John Q. Denzel is my kind of front man and like negotiator. He's the one that runs the criminal enterprise. He's the one that runs the team. Rihanna.
I like
just because she's fine.
But what movie?
Ocean's 8.
Was she in Ocean's 8?
Yeah, she's the inside.
Why
she's
didn't
the
I
inside job on it.
Fucking.
That's the all girls Ocean's movie.
And you know what's funny is I wouldn't. Okay, so listen. I'm gonna be quick because I want you to. I was looking up from my Trump list.
Yeah.
Ocean's 12, and I saw Ocean's 8, and I was thinking, what the fuck is that? And I just
it's the all girls Ocean's movie.
I was thinking it was like a fake like.
Do you notice anything about my list though?
It's all black?
Yes, it is. And then my last person is Chiwetel Ejiofor. And it's not from a heist movie. It's his character from The Martian. And he's my guy in the chair. He's my guy. He's my hacker.
Martian with Matt Dillon?
Yeah, Matt Damon.
Damon?
Yeah. No, because he's the he's in charge of like basically the NASA operations in that movie.
Okay. Now, what I will say is you got a couple reaches, but I understand with what
you understand what I'm trying to go for,
right? It makes sense as to why you would reach.
So, do you want to cover your movie first, or your heist first, or do you want me to cover mine?
So, I'll cover my plan first. And
okay, you cover your plan first, which will end up being like the context of if again. My take on this, because I thought we talked about this, was that it was not necessarily a real heist, it was a movie heist.
See, I was thinking, I even went to...
And I'm with you. I'm actually okay with it being a real heist.
Right.
Because if I convert mine to a real heist, I think it's that much more fucking gangster.
I even went to the depths of looking up public record building layouts.
Oh, did you?
And then I was like, oh, wait. I've already looked up too much crazy shit on this Google. They may
actually
come for knock
you.
on my door.
Cheers. Fucking A, man.
Because I looked up biggest heist in the world, which is with that Antwerp or diamond heist. I looked up so much shit, and then I was thinking building layouts. No. Because at first I was thinking Hollywood casino building layouts, and then it was like, nah, that's too close to home. Don't think you're really trying.
Right.
Don't even do it. So
what do you got?
So first comes in Clive Owen, who, like I said, is my inside man. He'll first apply and infiltrate the security team. He'll learn the layout.
Okay.
As well as he'll store the necessary tools in his security locker.
All right.
For everyone involved. Also, I don't know if I should be giving this information up now or later, but he'll sabotage something as well.
Okay. All right. No, that makes sense.
While on the inside. Secondly, Jim Sturgis, what he'll do is he'll frequent the casino before the heist even goes down, just until he's been noticed, but not until he's been banned.
Okay.
So when he's been suspected of card counting, but they say that you can't come back,
there
isn't
enough for him to be convicted yet.
Or say that you can't come back here type shit.
Okay.
Just enough for him to be on their radar.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Then
so he's not winning any major bank. He's doing just enough to win a little and then leave.
So the first couple nights, that's all you.
Yeah.
You can win as much money as you want. We just want you to get their attention.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, then comes Will Smith, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Kevin Costner, Bokeem Woodbine, Jim Sturgis, and Betty White. This is on heist day. All enter the casino at different times throughout the day.
Okay.
They all go to their designated locations, being crap table, slots, blackjack. And blackjack. Okay. Now, so Betty White, Kevin Costner, and Bokeem Woodbine hit the slots. Kevin Costner and Bokeem Woodbine are both in the same aisle on opposite sides of the security door, while Betty White will be in the opposite aisle across from them, being the eyes across from the security door while keeping her earpiece and in communication with Hugh Jackman, who's my hacker.
Okay.
Okay. So this is when Hugh Jackman comes in. He hacks the system to access the cameras and communicate routes and whereabouts through Betty White's hearing aid.
Okay.
Okay. Will Smith will then begin using his sleight of hand to work the crack table however you please. You know what I mean? If you want to replace those dice with some loaded ones,
let's assume that's what it is.
However you want to do it.
Yeah.
But listen, I know if you're good at dice, you can work a thing. So if you're good at sleight of hand too, you may not need loaded dice. Is all I'm saying.
Right.
Okay.
Loaded dice might be fanned out.
Catherine Zeta-Jones is just arm candy. She's just waiting around in case there's lasers. Just look good. If there's lasers,
I might have something similar in mind, so I'm with you.
You hear what I'm saying? So now Jim Sturgis begins counting cards at this point.
Okay.
So I don't want it. You just came in there counting cards. You gotta wait for Will Smith to get hot, for him to start getting noticed. Then you start counting cards as well. So it's like a wait. You know what I mean? Now you're fooling the eye in the sky. Doesn't know what you want to look at. Let's just send security to both tables.
Okay.
Type shit. Okay? So Hugh Jackman watches cameras for security to move in on Will and Jim and signals Betty White through the hearing aid when she sees them on the way through the hall. Alright? Once he sees them on the way, signals Betty White. I figured Betty White would do some old lady hand gestures. You know, like she's, operating a fucking choir.
Okay.
So they know that they're coming. Something along those lines. But what really comes down to it is Hugh Jackman's going to have to cut the power to the casino as soon as security exits the security door onto the floor to pursue Jim and Will.
Got it.
Now, once that takes place, that means that Kevin Costner and Bokeem Woodbine have approximately 30 to 60 seconds to enter that door while the power is cut off, before which you would think is the generator cuts on, but Clive Owen sabotages
this generator. So they get at least a modicum of time. At that point.
Now, beyond me, you already know Clive Owen's been there for a while. He's head of security, so he already has the tools in his locker. So now, since the generator is sabotaged, I would imagine that would at least give you 5 to 10 before you had to...
Before somebody else gets another generator
Exactly.
going.
So that means that he has they now have 5 to 10 minutes, including Clive Owen, because it's now dark and they can't see the security officer is now the third point of the extraction, to enter the security office, get the equipment from the locker, head to the vault, out the back door to Ansel
Elgort,
and we're out of there. Everybody, listen, Betty White does a Rick and Morty and pulls her hearing aid out her ear and stumps and walks out the casino like nothing ever happened. And we're meeting in Cuba like Fast and Furious should have did with Paul Walker.
All right. I like it. That was solid.
And that's only if Biden was president.
All right, let me do mine, and then you can come back to if Trump is president. All right, so as you may have guessed, Denzel is the ringleader of the criminal operation.
Why not Ice Cube?
Wait.
I'm sorry.
I'm getting there.
I'm stealing.
Ice Cube is the one that hires Denzel.
Right. Okay.
So Ice Cube, being responsible for, quote unquote, the contract, is the one that hires Denzel and his team of all the people that I previously mentioned.
Right.
So we got Luda as the getaway driver. We've got Jules. We've got Samuel L. as a hitman. We've got O'Shea Jackson as a hitman. We've got Mos Def and Don Cheadle on demolition.
Oh, you trying to go in for black folks? I see. You got hitmans and all that.
Well, this
shit.
is the whole. This is the contract.
Okay.
This is how we get the contract signed. Is what I'm saying.
All right.
Ice Cube, Denzel, John Q is the front man. Rihanna from kind of the inside job. Chiwetel Ejiofor is the guy in the chair. So the whole plot is Ice Cube hires Denzel's team.
Right.
They are on their way to meet with Congress.
Denzel's team is already those.
It's everybody else. Everybody else is
Okay.
Denzel's team.
So it's not like Ice Cube put those people together.
Denzel already had this team together.
Well, I have trust in that.
All right. So Ice Cube is saying, I've got a meeting with Congress. Denzel, I need you to meet with Biden.
Wait, not Ice Cube. Denzel says that.
Ice Cube says that to Denzel.
That Denzel needs to meet with Biden.
Denzel is going to meet with Biden.
I'm following.
So Denzel has kind of a one-on-one meeting with Biden. While Ice Cube is, think about it in terms of a congressional inquiry.
Right.
Where like there's members of Congress asking Ice Cube questions.
Right.
And this is
both
all around the contract for Black America.
This is both sides though.
This is everybody. This is all of the Senate, the entire Senate.
Okay.
The assumption at this point is that
I'm looking at it like those people up there in the black room at the very top, and Ice Cube's way down here looking up at.
Yes, exactly.
That's how I'm.
The assumption is that the contract with Black America has passed the House to some regard.
Okay.
And it has to get through the Senate before it goes to the president.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
President is Biden.
President is Biden.
Okay.
Kamala is his vice president. So, it gets through the House barely. And Biden, Kamala, and Ice Cube have a meeting, and they're like, this will never get through the Republican-controlled Senate.
Right.
And so Ice Cube goes to Denzel and says, I need help. Denzel and Ice Cube set up a meeting between Denzel and Biden. While Ice Cube is, what's the word? It's not necessarily, it's negotiating with Congress on the Senate floor. So it's basically a Senate hearing at this point.
Oh, I think I see where you're going here. Let's go.
Don Cheadle and Mos Def blow up the exits. The Senate is locked in the building because Don Cheadle and Mos Def have been hired as janitors.
Okay.
Given to them by Rihanna. Rihanna has been hired as a secretary, and she is the inside girl.
They'd never do it. That's the hole in your plot. She's too bad to be a secretary, bro. They'd be like, who the fuck is this?
That's exactly why she'd be hired.
Nah.
She expressed interest for an internship.
In Congress, she'd be a private secretary for sure.
She got hired as an intern, and she swipes uniforms for Mos Def and Don Cheadle.
Right, okay.
So she hands out the uniforms. They blow the exits. And everybody at this point, news coverage starts. It's, Congress under fucking lockdown because of explosions.
Right.
Meanwhile, O'Shea Jackson and Samuel L. are basically the ones in there with the guns ready to fucking shoot people. And Ice Cube is saying, look, we gonna get this deal done today.
Right.
To the United States Senate. So this is all going down. They're negotiating. There's a lot of drama building around. How don't you understand? Why don't you get this? Blah, blah, blah. This all starts to happen. And eventually a Republican senator goes, you'll never get this approved by the White House because they know that there is a hostage situation happening in the Senate. So even if we send this stuff from the Senate to the White House for signature, they know that this is a hostage situation. The United States doesn't negotiate with terrorists.
Right.
So all of this is happening.
That's a curve. We've
got, obviously, Luda sitting out in the car. We still have Chiwetel Ejiofor fucking sitting there in the guy in the chair, the hacker.
Mm-hmm.
Ice Cube is still trying to convince the Senate to sign this law around the contract with Black America. Denzel is sitting cool as fuck with Biden in the Oval Office. Not acting like he doesn't know what's happening.
Right.
And Biden obviously starting to freak out because obviously he gets the word from the Secret Service, all this shit that, like, there's been a terrorist attack, like, the Senate's under control of a terrorist organization, whatever.
Is Denzel still with Biden?
Denzel's still with Biden at this point. And Ice Cube convinces enough people to sign to turn this contract with Black America into law. And everybody is basically like, the president will never sign this, blah, blah, blah. Denzel agrees, like, Biden, you shouldn't sign it, blah, blah, blah. Once the contract...
Denzel's saying he shouldn't sign it.
Shouldn't sign it, because he's my inside man.
Right.
So, Denzel's saying you shouldn't sign it. And the contract gets signed in the Senate. And out of nowhere...
Excuse me.
Biden starts...
And Kamala
comes
in.
He's been poisoned by Denzel. And yes, you are absolutely right. Kamala is fucking the one that comes in, signs the bill into law. The contract is approved. Black America wins.
I will half agree with you.
You half agree?
I'll
take a half. That's all I got. You and I talked about this like 3 weeks ago. I'm like, how can I flip this and maybe get a win here? And I don't know that I get a win.
That was very well structured.
I thought it was well structured. I don't know that I win, but
there's two flaws in your story.
What are my flaws? Obviously the Rihanna
one I
thing.
pointed out. Rihanna is too bad to be a public secretary.
And I would agree. I would disagree in the sense that that's how. Did you see Borat?
No.
Did you see the second Borat movie where Rudy Giuliani got caught with his hands down his pants just because of the hot reporter?
Right.
I disagree with you on premise.
Well, isn't that...
All right, so
she's
Rihanna...
nowhere near as hot as Rihanna.
I understand. Which is exactly
People
why I'm
be walking in with their hands down their pants like, what...
Which is exactly why she could get whatever the fuck job she wanted. So give me another reason.
she'd be a distraction on her own. Everybody's, this lady's walking in like, you see that secretary right there? That's how much you think she make an hour? Can we offer her something a little strange for a piece of change?
Right.
That's what I'd be thinking if I had a little wild young lady. Would you like to? I would like to. Can we both have that?
Right. Yeah.
The fuck. But secondly,
what's your other piece? What you got?
Kamala's not that president. She doesn't even know the right Timbs to wear on the
What I'm saying is, she's a plant all along. She's the deepest seed out of all. She was in it from jump.
What I don't think you know is that she's a double agent plant. She's planted on the nigga side for the white folks. That's what you don't get. She didn't wear the right.
That's the twist.
That's
the twist at the end.
Oh, so she's a double.
That's a double twist.
Yeah, she's not.
That's
she
fair.
Is
That's
not.
fair.
I don't trust Kamala.
I thought we decided Kamala was the Trojan horse for the Liberal Party.
It would be nice if she was, but I'm saying once I seen those Timbs, if you wear Timbs with an athletic sole,
right?
I'm hoping that's the Indian side, bitch. Because it's definitely not. What is going on? You don't know. Nobody told you to wear the steel-toed Timbs. Who wears tennis shoe Timbs?
So I do have to shout out that Rihanna chimed in, so I want to give her chance. So we had our two heist versions.
Mm-hmm.
She has her own.
I
want to hear it?
I do.
So she says, "Am I making a movie based on a heist? London, small Trump town. We got all the banks on one side of the tracks. Create a huge distraction on the opposite side of the tracks where all London's finest respond. Train rolls through and blocks them on the wrong side. Hit all the banks in the meantime."
Now, if she's...
See, that's a legit just heist. I think
crazy?
We should do that fucking tonight.
I already had... Listen, I had that as well.
Did you?
I had that as... I don't have my other notebook. My original plan was to have a bank... No, not a train, but a bank heist across town. And my list was Queen Latifah Set It Off, Lorenz Tate, Dead Presidents. Who else did I have? Somebody else. But they were going to rob the bank while the casino was going down. So there was nobody on the other side. But I figured if you could cut the generators, all you need to know is that the cameras aren't rolling. And you can get out of there if you have a good driver. So if I got Ansel and a cutout generator, that's all we need. We don't need somebody across town. But that's similar to what I was thinking before. Now, if Trump was president, my list would be completely different.
Can I give you this quick thing from her on this one?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know she was
the story was completed. She did say, "I spoke to a few people on your mom's Indian story, so Native American story. And there seems to be a modicum of truth to the guys concerned about white folk being attacked by Indians in Montana."
Well, leave them alone.
Fuck the white devils.
Leave them Indians alone. I don't know why y'all keep fucking with them. Listen, we've been hearing that all.
You're probably right.
We've been hearing that all our life. White folks been fucking niggas up. So watch who you. So leave the fuck. They only got this big piece of the country. Leave them the fuck alone.
Right.
Leave them the fuck alone.
No doubt.
I would be hurting white folks too if every time somebody rode through my reservation, they savages is killing folks. Get the fuck out of here, white man.
Get the fuck out of here.
You hear what I'm saying? I would be feeling the same way. So, all I'm saying is leave him alone. Trump president, quick list, five-man team.
Okay, so different team.
Yeah, different team altogether, because Trump's president. We can't do the same heist.
Can't get the same.
Right. So, this list is Mark Ruffalo, Now You See Me.
Okay.
Where he was the FBI agent / musician. We're going Michael Pena from the Tower Heist with Eddie Murphy and Ben Stiller.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? It was a comedy heist movie.
I think I know what you're talking about. I don't think I actually watched it, but I think I'm aware of what you're talking about.
Then I'm going Danny Trejo, Con Air, the ex-inmate slash plane confiscator.
Okay.
And then lastly, we're going Jay Hernandez, Takers. He was
got a bunch of movies I've never seen, but
the
I'm
handsome Hispanic dude that played the new Carlito in Carlito's Way.
Okay.
Remember,
yeah.
Al
No, I've
Pacino
seen the
was
new
the
Carlitos.
first.
Yeah.
He was the second. Now, did you notice anything about my list?
Run through the names one more time.
Michael Pena, Andy Garcia, Ocean's 13. Oh, I didn't even say that. Andy Trejo, Con Air, Jay Hernandez, Takers.
It's all Hispanic.
You goddamn right. You goddamn right.
I thought it was all Hispanic, but I wanted to hear the names one more time.
Oh, I forgot Mark Ruffalo as well. He's not, but dark-haired, darker skinned, he could pass. He could pass. But that's Trump's plan. So my whole thing is, if Trump was in office, then when Trump does the opposite of defund the police, what would you call that?
Fund the police?
No, because they've already been funded. You're refunding
the
police, I guess.
Sure.
Then what we'll do is we'll solicit a contract to remodel the evidence room.
Okay.
Hence all the Hispanics. Enough said.
Remodeling.
Enough said. We'll get rid
Amen.
of We'll get all the cocaine and we'll get rid of it with that same cast. And I bet we'd make more than that heist in the casino.
You're not
That's all
wrong.
I'm saying.
You're not wrong.
All that evidence shit, they got money, cocaine, drugs, guns. It'd be more money in a police evidence room heist than I think anything. That might be the Antwerp top. You want to top Antwerp? Hit one of the top evidence rooms in this country. It's over. It's over. So, give me a couple Latinx, whatever you want to call them. We'll get it done.
Goodness gracious.
Trump 2020. No, I'm just playing.
Don't do that to me right now.
I'm just playing. Trump 2024.
By the way, it seems we missed the Biden speech tonight, which, by the way, he did not claim victory. He said he urged America to be patient and respect the results. So I think that's a true sign of a leader. He didn't even
what's up. And respect the results and all that.
Yeah. But he
got Obama in his ear like Hugh Jackman and Betty White.
Ready to go.
He's trying to commit a heist on the country, and he got Obama in his ear like, just be cool. I'm telling you now. Listen.
Let me be clear. This is President Barack Obama asking the country to be patient.
He ain't asking the country.
Respect
the
results of the election.
Senile white man.
Old senile white men, in particular.
He's stupid.
Sometimes you just have to believe, and we can change. And there we go.
He opened them slow like brandy. Like the boy is mine. There you go.
The boy is mine. God damn, that was a great song, wasn't it, back in the day?
That wasn't a bad one.
That was a banger.
You always know, I'm talking about you. Listen, that might be the first one where I said, you know what?
Oh, you like the Barack Obama
That
voice?
might have been a little bit.
There's people out there doing Elmo as Elmo doesn't believe in COVID. You should just go open mouth kiss people, and cause COVID's not real.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen.
and Schmodown have been doing that bit for a minute.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen.
It's not as hysterical when I do it, but they are fucking funny with it.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen. Allow this to
allegedly
allow this to be the very example. Just know when to quit, white people. Just knowing
Allegedly.
you did great.
Allegedly.
You did great, and
Allegedly.
then you just ruined it.
Mr. Jennings, I'm doing just fine. I think that you might be right.
I am.
But not tonight. Because Barack Obama believes that Joe Biden has won the White House this week. And Michael Reggie is a fool.
You know what? I don't know what it was, but
what just triggered something for you?
Something just popped into my fucking mind. You know why Biden is going to guaranteed
Why is he going to
last these 4 years?
Why is that?
Because we all know
because we can't let a black woman be charged with shit. Is that what you said?
That one. And then not a half light skin. We already had a half black president. And then you want to have a light skin, half Indian, black what? Nah, fuck all that. All I'm saying is this: how you know Biden is going on 4 years.
You know he's half right. Wasn't that the line?
All I'm saying is that's not worth. That doesn't pass your test.
Oh,
you need at least
doesn't pass
65% to pass the test. So what I'm saying is, Biden's gonna make it all 4 years because Kamala will not be vice president. Now, if Biden does decent and runs again in 2024,
he won't be alive by then. That's the whole thing. Is I don't know that he'll be alive.
If he runs again in 2024, who do you think his running mate would be?
So Kamala.
Who did they ask for his running mate to be this year?
What do you mean?
They said, why doesn't Michelle Obama run as vice president with...
No, I still think that they are holding on to Michelle for 2024 to run on her own as president.
But what would be better than to be a vice president in 2020 to...
I would just say that generally
speaking,
that if somebody's going to run for 2 terms in a row, they won't change their vice president.
Well, see, here's the thing.
I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying generally speaking.
Well,
that's
see,
not,
here's the thing
that's not the norm.
is that I don't... Who really likes Kamala?
That's a good question.
Like honestly, who really likes Joe? But who really likes Kamala though? Nobody is in Kamala's corner.
I hear you on that. Bro.
She's just Joe's vice president.
Right.
So at the moment, it's like, okay, if Joe dies, then yeah, Kamala goes in. Who gives a fuck? But is she worth continuing? My whole thing is Michelle probably talked to Obama about it. You know what I mean? Like,
talk to Barry about it.
You know what I mean? Like, do you think I should run with him? Like, because if listen, right?
Michelle,
and what he say?
Michelle,
cool your horses.
I
you
don't think now is the right time.
Listen,
I think that if there is a possibility of you running for office, I think you should wait for 2024.
I think that's exactly how that conversation
And on that
went.
note, fools agree.
I think that's exactly how that conversation went.
Cheers, motherfucker. That is our time. We are at about 2 hours, 10 minutes. Mr. Jordan Jennings, do you have anything to close us out for the evening?
The only thing I have to...
Oh, no! As Cliff spills his beer.
Is I'm glad I wore sweatpants.
Right.
Because I'm going to be free balling home tonight, baby.
He says sweatpants as he's sitting here in fucking shorts. My main man. Hey, if you like what you heard tonight, do us a favor. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a share.
Love everybody.
Do us a favor and really sign up for the podcast. Like, yeah, we promote the YouTube a shit ton. Sign up for the podcast, subscribe, download, all that good shits.
I'm glad this card
podcast is actually where we make any money, so please do us a favor and subscribe there, download the episodes. We love all y'all. Have a good night. Peace out, fools.
And let's see what happens in these next couple days.
And we'll still be here, regardless.
If not, we got Heists planned.
That's right!